You see the sword? You see the sword? Don't mess with me. I will slice you up with this thing. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? Day one of asking Danny to start the stream while holding a sword and threaten the viewers. I bet Jason wasn't expecting me to hold this sword. I bet he was expecting me to hold this sword. Bruh. Are y'all watching the stream? Because if you don't watch the stream, you know what's going to happen. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, who was first in chat today? We got... Was it? Kevin Ngo. Mod Kevin Ngo was first in chat today. I gotta switch hands. I'm not left-handed, but all right. Can I do this without it stabbing me in the neck? Okay, let's see. So we have Kevin first, then we got Colin Schultz. Evening, lads. Cool idea for a video. Yeah, I'm actually excited to do this because it's a little bit of hands-on kind of stuff. And then, yeah, we'll see if this graphics card ends up being all new or if the company is a load of crap. What's up, Chris? What's up, Craig Lilly? What's up, Kate Cavern? I'm about to say Craven. Oh, this thing is digging into my neck. It's got like, it's not like super sharp. I mean, obviously it's a dull blade. You can see how the width of it right here, but still it is solid metal. So it is, when I hold it like this, digging into me. Let's see. Yep. So there's Jason's ask, Toto AK. What's up? What's up? Insert slay word. What is the slay word here? Let's see. What's up, Jonathan Tober? Tober? Dynadope. What's up? What's up? Igor T4. T4 is excited to watch the stream. Just got done making a video about an HP ProDesk G2 small form factor. What'd you slap into this? Slammed a 1050 Ti low profile in it and some other goodies. Nice. What was the total cost of the build? Jason, get the big one. Cammy Hudson. Let's see. Thank you for the channel membership renewal. I appreciate it. Craig Lilly. 2 years. 24 months. Was it October 2021 that I started the channel memberships on the streams or on the channel? Wow, time freaking flies. What's up, Tone B? All right, I'm putting this thing down now. I have fulfilled my duties of keeping up with the day one requests from Jason. So I'm putting this down. Actually, let me show the comparison. I don't know what the replica size is for the tiny one. The tiny one versus the full-size one, but this thing is heavy. It is not possible to hold it out with, I guess it is. Completely horizontal is actually pretty difficult because this thing is like 30 pounds. Probably not 30 pounds, like closer to 20. All right. So, let me test the camera angles real quick for what we're about to do today. Do we have the... Well, bam. That is slightly not aligned. Or am I not aligned? No. It is aligned. It is aligned enough. All right. And there should be less vibrations because now the camera arm is not attached to the desk. So that should be improved from last week or the week before. Bis weapon indeed. If only they ever let you actually wield Frostmourne. You could do that in Warcraft 3. Ollie Croft says, hi from the UK, love your videos and all your content, especially LAN party vids. They are so cool to watch. Ooh, we're getting closer to December. 2 more months. well, I guess we only land like a month and a half ago, so yeah, I haven't even started reviewing that footage yet, but I will do so before the end of the year. I will promise that. Chris, you're still at work? I guess it's 5 p.m. This is about the time for that most people get finished on their 9 to 5s, unless they take like an hour lunch or 30-minute lunch or whatever. Pierre X says, "Hey, hope you're doing good, man. I'm doing great. Hope you all are doing great. Hope you're ready for just a pretty chill stream. Aside from taking apart the graphics card, which I will grab it right now. We're gonna wait a little bit more before we get into it because I don't want people to miss it if they're planning to tune in for it. But yeah, so we have the graphics card right here. Company reached out to me and was like, "Do you want to check this out?" And I'm like, man, by this point, like, I know the Toasty Bros, they probably do one of these like every month or something like that. And there's a bunch of companies that have this. But a lot of my other tech content creator friends have made at least one or more videos covering these graphics cards. I myself have made a video covering one of these in the past. But yeah, there is a kind of a general consensus for these graphics cards that they are not actually new, because how in 2023 are they getting, you know, new chips still for RX 580s, unless they just found like some abandoned warehouse full of them. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later and then kind of do like a teardown. And I got my microscope ready to go, so we're gonna take a look in depth, closer at this thing. So yeah. But aside from that, if you guys have anything else you want me to look at or to do on this stream, once we're done with that, feel free to post it in the Discord channel. So yeah, if you go to the Discord channel, server rather, we have the stream submissions channel where you can post stuff, and then I usually take a look at it during stream. So let's see. All right, this should be, yeah, detailed enough for us to take a look. Yeah. Pulled fiber, replaced fiber enclosure, deployed some switches, and currently deploying a monitor and printer. Is that all solo, or are you doing that with other people, Chris? Is most of your workday just you doing things by yourself? With the team? Nice. Coalition Gaming Chris says, anyone here go to TwitchCon? I did not go to TwitchCon because everybody knows my opinions on Twitch. But I'm curious, yeah, did anyone in the chat go to TwitchCon or follow content from TwitchCon? Chris and the Coalition Gaming crew went to TwitchCon, and they streamed from the hotel there on Chris's channel, as well as they had live stream from when Chris was on a PC building panel and stuff like that. But anybody here interested in the whole Twitch, what would you call it? The whole Twitch scene, I guess. Chase Atwood says, I heard that all of these are new PCBs and memory chips with old cores. Yeah, that's basically what I've heard. Which, at the end of the day, is that such a bad thing? Because the silicone, I would think, is the most durable part of a graphics card. Whenever you see graphics card failures, it's usually like capacitors or, I don't know, solder joints going bad, or just some memory, something else. So if they're replacing all the parts that are actually durable and the actual, the chip itself is fine, then is that a problem? But they should probably disclose that it's not all brand new. I don't know. So this 580 goes for $100. Though, right? I mean, they always have coupons or something to clip. So $90, which is kind of they go for, on Amazon anyways, usually around $80 to $100. But then if you go to Aliexpress, you can get it down to like 70-ish on average. But then you got to deal with Aliexpress wait times. But But yeah, compared to the used market, it's definitely not as good of a deal because you can get RX 570s for pretty easily around 50 bucks. So this is equivalent to about a 570. You're going to DreamHack Atlanta, Igor. When is that? Where's my browser at? That is, where's the date on this? December 15th to 17th. Okay, nice. Jason is tired of waiting a month for Aliexpress stuff, so he's going to pick up next week. Yeah, Jason is going to China and Japan, but for the Aliexpress stuff, he's going to go pick it up in person in China. BlizzCon, yes. I am not going to BlizzCon. One of these years, I need to go to BlizzCon just because of how much like Blizzard has had an impact on my life and how many gaming hours I put into Blizzard games in general. BlizzCon is, let's see, November 3rd. Is that next Friday? Yeah, one of these days I gotta do a live. If anything, I probably missed the golden years of BlizzCon. When back before all the controversy with Blizzard, as well as back before people kind of felt like their games went to crap. So unfortunately, I missed it in like the early 2010s when it was really popping off. But I don't know, I would still go. I'm actually playing hardcore WoW right now, which is it actually breathes new life into classic WoW. Playing hardcore, it makes you approach the game differently, and it's slower progression, but it feels so much more like satisfying, I guess. Every level you get, every piece of green gear you get. But there's supposed to be big announcements this year from BlizzCon, hopefully with Classic or Seasons of Mastery 2, or maybe Classic Plus, whatever is what people are guessing, but we'll see. People think Classic Plus is coming. Yeah, I am skeptical about that. There's a lot of leaks and stuff, and like job postings that people are kind of taking a wild guess at. I don't think if they are going to announce Classic Plus, it's not going to be coming out for at least a year plus, right? So if anything, it might be Seasons of Mastery before Classic Plus, which I'm not as interested in Seasons of Mastery as I am in hardcore WoW. Yeah, Seasons of Mastery, because at the end of the day, after it's all done, you get rolled over to a normal era server, which I already have era characters. But I like the hardcore aspect of it because it just feels more fulfilling. I'm level 22 on my Dwarf Hunter on hardcore right now. My first hardcore character have not died yet, so we'll see. We'll see how long I can keep that going. You're gonna check out the new Lord of the Ring games. Is that the dwarf one? It's like a dwarf Minecraft game. New Lord of the Rings game. I think I've heard of it. Return to Moria. Force Gaming, I like this guy. I really like his content. But, so this one is kind of like, I think it's supposed to be like Minecraft. I've looked into it, but I don't think it's an MMO, right? It's more like server-based, like Valheim, Minecraft-y. So, I don't know. Playing hardcore WoW again. WoW is like a huge time sink and consumes so much time. So, I'm probably going to be playing that pretty seriously until I die. World of Warcraft coming to Xbox as now owned by Microsoft. I hope it comes to Game Pass, because then I can just have a Game Pass subscription that ties everything in, instead of right now I have Game Pass and I have World of Warcraft subscription, and that would cut the cost essentially in half. So, yeah. Toto AK says, I love your timing, brother. I'm home from a bad day at work. Now I can eat in peace and watch stream, and later it's got the new WoW vid. Wait, later, Scott the was new vid? Scott the was new vid. Is that a typo? But I'm glad you're able to get home from a crappy day at work, tune into this stream, and just relax. And hopefully this stream makes everybody's day a little bit better. Just we're here chilling, talking, doing tech stuff. So yeah. Collision Gaming Chris says, so Twitch announced allowing multi-streaming platform. Any comments on that? So the multi-streaming thing, I saw your YouTube short, Chris, about that. People have been multi-streaming on Twitch for ever, right? It was just that there was a chance of getting caught, even though it seemed pretty low, especially if you were like a smaller streamer. But now it's kind of like you can do it without any fear of repercussion. Okay. Who did I talk about multi-streaming with? It might have been, actually, I was talking about Jan and Casey about it because they were asking me. I don't like multi-streaming, whether it be you're mainly a Twitch streamer or you're mainly a YouTube streamer. I don't like it because of the way that chat is integrated, or like you have to use a bot that sends messages from YouTube to Twitch and then from Twitch to YouTube or Facebook, whichever multiple streaming apps you're using. So instead of, like, if you look at chat right now, these are all real people, right? You see like Firestorm, Corey, Coalition Gaming, Jason Whitmer, Diana. You see all these real names in chat. When you have multi-streaming, because you have audiences from the different platforms, a lot of that, either the conversation is lost or a lot of that is re-comment posts from like some stream bot, and it just doesn't feel or look natural. And just chatting between the two platforms, like if a YouTube viewer is trying to talk to a Twitch viewer, I don't know, it just doesn't, to me, when I'm a part of a stream that has that, it is very off-putting to me, if that makes sense. Oh, you don't think chat sharing is allowed? But I think people do it anyways, whether or not they get caught or like, you know, get slapped on the wrist, it's whatever. But those are my thoughts on multi-streaming. I guess it's good that there's less restrictions, but it's not something that I personally would look into doing myself. And when I am watching a stream that is being multi-streamed, it's just like, I think like Zach does multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube, and every time I watch him on the YouTube side of things, and when I chat with him, I think he actually doesn't read YouTube chat as much as he does Twitch chat. Like Zach focuses more on Twitch chat. I think he does respond to YouTube comments, but because he has more of his viewers on Twitch, on the YouTube side of things, the viewer experience is just a bunch of stream bot re-chat posts. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Shauner? Shauner, did you see the YouTube short on you? I think that actually went out this past, was that just on Friday? Thursday, or this last Thursday or Friday? Or was that even last week? How long ago was that short? That actually might have been almost a week and a half ago, but I think you missed last week's stream, so we couldn't talk about it. Well, what's up, what's up? Ollie Croft says, is $600 a good price for an RTX 3080? No. MSI Supreme, so that's a little bit more of a premium card. We're going to get into the RX 580 right after we do this quick. I'm a sucker for when you guys ask questions about pricing and looking stuff up. So we look at RTX 3080, 12 gigabytes. I looked this up like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So you can get $400 10 gigabyte cards. I think the 12 gigabyte cards were going for like $475 because we had a conversation on the Discord about it, actually. Let's see. So we go here, but you're asking specifically about the MSI Supreme card. eBay, why you do this to me? We're gonna go for everything except for not for parts. Yeah, so 12 gigabyte cards, you can get like a Zotac one, but people typically aren't fan of these Zotac ones. Yeah, God, I think the Zotac cards are one of the ugliest designs of the bunch. But so 500 if you want to EVGA for the Win 3. Oh wow, this is the cheapest one. So maybe you would want to go here because this is essentially $437. So about $63 difference to the next cheapest one. But maybe you want to get you want an MSI Supreme one. So 600 just based on some of these listings that you see here. Actually, there's not even a ton. It quickly goes up to 450 for EVGA. Let's see if there's any MSI ones on here. But yeah, so 600 to me seems overpriced. I usually am not a model chaser. Like when I grab a graphics card, I typically pick the best value one of that, or not model chaser. How do I say it? Because I'm not talking about the model as in like the RTX 3080. I'm talking about like the specific like manufacturer model, like MSI Supreme or MSI Gaming X and stuff like that. If you got an Asus top of the line RTX 3080 versus a Dell Optiplex one, if I'm saving $100 to $150 on a Dell Optiplex one, I'm getting the Dell Optiplex one. Back to Jason and I actually had a conversation about this yesterday. Back to the streaming comments. 99% of streamers are streaming to nobody. The people who actually matters have contracts. Outside of the contract, I don't think Twitch cares. I would kind of agree with that. And that is true. Like the Twitch stats, don't they say 99% of people streaming on Twitch or even probably YouTube and stuff are streaming to like less than 5 viewers? So if you stream to anything above that, you are considered in the definitely the top 5 percentile. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's crazy what the split is between like the successful, mildly successful, and then just like, you know, I guess you could call it unsuccessful or maybe starting off streamers. Nathan Tasker showing Jason some love. Yeah, Jason makes really good content. Jason is like a YouTuber who should have started years ago because from everything from like his video editing style, his personality on screen and stuff, he's got it all like a larger channel than he is. It's just that he started YouTube too late. He could definitely have been a bigger channel had he started, 5-10 years ago. But, you can't turn back the clocks of time. The best thing you can do is start today. Yes, I will be multi-streaming in a few weeks. Me and John, the net guy, will be doing a PC build over at his house. It's going to be a charity build, so I will be streaming. I need to figure out how to do the chat there. We might just have to have 2 different chats going. Or I might have to bring a laptop so that we could see mine at the same time. We'll figure it out. Chase is asking about, okay, last thing before we get into opening up this RX 580. Hyte Y70 case with the touchscreen. I have heard about that because everyone is starting to release videos on it. It must have been the embargo recently. So the touchscreen, how much is the normal Y70 non-touchscreen? Let me see this. Give me 1 second. So if we bring this up, PC cases, Y70, how much I'm trying to think of. So the Y70 is essentially a Y60 with a touchscreen on this side, this diagonal panel. How much? Okay, so my brother-in-law spent $280 on this thing. So for a touchscreen, and then he ended up buying a non-touchscreen, but a display screen. They sold the kits, and now they just have it integrated. Dude, if you were a Y60 owner, wouldn't you just feel so screwed over that you didn't wait the additional year or year and a half to get this? If you did a DIY like screen kit on it. The DIY screen kit, in my opinion, is kind of janky. Like you can buy a 3D printed thing or 3D print yourself like stuff, and just the way that the cables are kind of loosely hanging out and stuff like that. Even if you try to tuck it in the best you can, because of the nature of like powering the LCD screen and all that, it's not a good look if you can see behind it, the screen. But going back to my thoughts on this, so $360 for this case. Oh, wait, no, this is, no, you can't do a horizontal card. here's the thing. I think the Hyte Y60/Y70 is overrated. But then again, it's just not my style of case. We're gonna run our first poll today. What are your thoughts on the Hyte Y60? And I guess we'll say Y70 now because add option overrated. Okay, so it's kind of like you like it, middle, or you kind of don't like it. I guess we're just gonna call that overrated if you don't like it, because a lot of people like this case. This is me saying price aside. I guess you can't say price aside, because if the Y60 and Y70 was like 80 bucks, then it'd be like, oh my god, an amazing case. But even if it was like in the $200 range, I just don't like the design of it, price aside. I guess if you get it cheap enough, okay, I would recommend and like it. But let's just assume that price isn't the biggest factor, because obviously this is like an aesthetic case. I don't like this diagonal section of it, even though the wedge, rather. It's just, if you've built in one of these, you'll know what I'm talking about. It limits what radiators you could put at the top there because it's not squared off. And most radiators, because it's a square, you can't run it up to the end of the case. Like, you can't fully utilize that space up there for the upper radiators. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's overrated. Apparently to more people than not. It's actually almost split. We got 38% of people like it, and then slightly more, 42% of the people think it's overrated, and about 1/5 of y'all are indifferent. Pinky Tech says, it looks great, but I can't spend that much on a case. I could bump up GPU. Yeah, so, I mean, there are great cases out there for around 100 bucks that come like fully equipped with fans and stuff like that. This gives you $260 free to go from like, I don't know, a 4070 Ti to a 4080, or to go from like a 7900 XT to an XTX, or like so many different you could go from 0 graphics card to like a 7600, I guess, with 260 bucks. Chase says, this case is for people who care more about aesthetics than the performance, probably putting a 4090 in it. That's true. My brother-in-law put a 4080 in it, but yeah. That is a very good point. When at some point you reach like into the $2,000, $3,000-ish plus range on PC components, at that point you care less about the cost. I mean, I think everyone, unless you're straight up a millionaire, you still consider cost a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I've helped people build computers in the $2,000 to $3,000 range, and at that point they don't care about spending like where you can get a case for a third or half the price. They're just like, whatever, I like this case, so yeah. This case is more than a lot of people's GPUs. 360, yeah, actually, I'm very curious what the GPU split is. Well, actually, Steam Hardware Survey, our favorite place of inaccurate data, supposedly. Let's see. So if we take a look at, 6% plus this, 10, 11%. I'm trying to see like how far we can get in the low end. So 360, yeah, so you're everything here and above. So let me quickly do this math. 11, 1570, 16, 4, 20, 25, 4. Yeah, so I mean, at least a third of gamers are using graphics cards that are less than the case, because all these graphics cards right here, from the 1660 Super to the 3060, these are all, actually the 3070 might be the only expensive one, but you still have about 30% using graphics cards that are valued in the used market anyways, less than 370 bucks or 360 bucks. build a PC that costs less than that case, and then put it into this case, and then it becomes a $700 PC. Okay. All right. The time is now. I think we've got enough people here. People went to the bathroom. People got their snackies and waters. Let me take a drink real quick. It's time to take apart this graphics card using an LTT custom screwdriver. So yeah, this is the RDS. How would you pronounce this? RDS? Yeah, RDS. So this is the RX 580 248 SP, and that stands for stream processors, and that means that you guys probably know this by now if you're watching any budget content out there that's covered this card. That means it is effectively an RX 570 8GB, which isn't a bad thing. Like I said in the previous streams, RX 570s are great cards still. Like, you can find them in the used market for 40 to 50 bucks typically, and then you can slap it into a budget gaming PC that's like $200, $300, $400, and you get 1080p. You get a 1080p gaming experience. Maybe not like Cyberpunk or Starfield, but you can play a lot of games on the RX 570 at like probably medium-ish settings to low, and still squeeze out 60 FPS, which is honestly all you can really ask for when you're spending only like $200-300 bucks. But what we're gonna do is let me move this a little bit. We're gonna unbox this, and we're gonna see. I was told, I emailed this company and I asked them, is this graphics card all new components? Let me read what they wrote to me. They said, so my question is, I have a question. These cards are marketed as new, but is everything in them new? Or are there some reused parts such as the GPU die, right? They said, yes, our product is brand new and all parts are new. They're saying all parts are new in here, including the GPU die, which is the thing that these cards are notoriously known for reusing from these companies that have slapped them onto new boards with new, all other new components, with new fans and coolers and heatsink and all that stuff. So we're gonna unbox this and we're gonna take it apart, and we're gonna use a microscope, which I have right here, a USB microscope, to look at it like very close up and see if we can see any marks of it being used. Yes, the box looks cool, says Firestorm. I agree. It's got like this kind of Lego design to it. Okay, so I was actually pointing this out to Jason in the DMs, but it's funny because you see on there, they actually put World of Warcraft, the Lich King Arthas right there, which is kind of, I think, a funny choice to do because, WoW is probably not the most popular game that exists if you want to like put it on your graphics card box. Like, there's maybe Fortnite or Minecraft. There's other way more popular games. WoW has kind of fallen off. So for them to put that on there, and me being a big Blizzard and World of Warcraft fan, I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, so let me open this up right now, and we can take a look at it. But yeah, they got like Lego blocks and a very cute robot and everything like that. So let me see. Oops, I need to, give me one second. I need to copy the comment highlighter to this. Well, bam, there you go. What would be the point of this when 6600 is out? The 6600 new is still like 180 bucks. This is $90. So it's a factor of two difference. Now, I would agree, if you can afford the 6600, the RX 6600 is like one of the best value new card that you can buy. So let me see, I gotta see the screen. So here's the card. This very simple box. It comes with the 6 to 8 pin adapter, which it's kind of pushing it, right? So the RX 580, 2048 stream processor version, it is a 150 watt TDP card. If you're using one of these, 6-pin, like for whatever reason, if your power supply only has 6-pin and not the 8-pin PCIe connector, those max out at 75 watts. Your PCIe slot on your motherboard maxes out at 75 watts. So if you're using this, you're basically pushing your cable to the limit, because when you go to 8-pin, you have 150 watt is what the spec calls for. So using one of these, you're maxing out that 6-pin, and some might consider that dangerous. I haven't had the need to use these adapters just because most power supplies do come with 8-pin. But for like the lower end or like, 300, 400 watt power supplies, you might be limited to that. So yeah, just kind of interesting there. A lot of the times when people get these connectors and like Molex connectors as well, they don't use it. Like I just take this and I throw it into my bundle or like my box of extra cables and wires, never to be used again. But let's take a look at the graphics card itself. So we'll pull this out. Well, bam. Okay, let me actually move the light. Okay, make it a little brighter here. I might have to, actually no, I won't zoom in until we get to the actual card itself. So here's the card. You know what's funny is there's something exciting about opening up a new graphics card. No matter what card it is, it could be a lower end card, but unboxing a new one that has like, like fresh anti-static bag and all that stuff, it's always a good feeling. Like I've unboxed much more expensive graphics cards than this, but it never feels old to pull one of these out of these crinkly bags and to look at it pretty much untouched, right? Like, so here's the card. I mean, there's not a single bit of dust on it because it has not been used yet. Let's take a look at the back plate here. So yeah, there you have it. What do we got here? We have 3 DisplayPort, 1 HDMI. I mean, this is actually for a white card. Maybe I need to do a white budget build with this thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not too big of a fan of the stickers on here. Their logo is not the best looking, but the back plate I think actually looks pretty cool. Doing like a pink/purple and white build with this would be pretty awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we're gonna take this apart, and with the screwdriver, let me see if I have the right bit on here. I'm gonna have to go through that sticker, void if removed sticker. Okay, let me see. Introverted says, are you still playing WoW, Danny? Yeah, I'm playing Hardcore Classic right now on Defies Pillager. I'm a Dwarf Hunter. That's the Alliance server. Toto AK says, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm only a fan of you since 2019. That's still a long time. 4 years. That's more than half of my existence on YouTube. When you gave my man, the legend, the humble baby boy Casey a new PC. That was the day you got a new fan. And Casey to smile. I love it. Thank you. I think a lot of people found the channel via that and the LAN party, which those two videos are kind of related. So, yeah. Yeah. So in terms of my modded screwdriver, so this was at LTX. They gave all the creators an opportunity to build a DIY, choose your custom color screwdriver. But my wife also not recently, how long has it been? Maybe coming up on a year now, got a Cricut machine. And I don't know, man, like I need to get her to try to use it more. But yeah, we cut out some of this stuff and I put this on it just to test it. I still need to seal it because this can still fall off. But yeah, this is my custom Ninja Turtle red screwdriver. So let's I'm going to take this box out of the way so I can get this more centered. Let me see if I can zoom in without messing up the camera that much. Okay. This is just a phone camera, by the way, so it's not the best quality, but for the teardown, I don't think we need it to be the best quality until we hit the microscope. So let me get this thing open real fast. And I got my tray here. Whoops, it just stuck right to the back plate. I got my tray here with, this is just like, you know, old toothbrush that I cleaned so that I can use for thermal paste, and then a thermal paste spreader. Come on. So for this one, I'm just gonna dig the screwdriver. No, I shouldn't do that because it might fill the Phillips, like the hole with that junk, and it might be it'll be kind of like the effect of stripping it, where the screwdriver might not be able to pull it off. Okay, I might just have to do that because this sticker is, oh my gosh, this sticker is a pain. It's just tearing up. Screw it. We're just gonna go right through it. Yeah, we just went right through it. It's whatever. Someone could make a killing making replacement do not remove stickers like that. Yeah, I bet. I mean, sorry, we get sidetracked, but you know what? That's just the way it goes. Do not remove circle stickers. Can we find one of these? Do not remove small circle stickers. Can we find one of these? I'm not seeing anything that's like it. Screw sticker. Screw stickers. Huh. Stickers to cover screws, but I'm not seeing anything specifically. Yeah. You would have to custom print them because they don't look readily available on Google. All right. So let's get this thing. Let me make sure there's nothing else. All right. We should be able to pop this open, I think. See, let's take a look at the thermal paste. I'm not seeing any other screws, but come on. Just gotta give it a little twist sometimes. Well, so there's also silicone pads on here. So those have some tackiness to them too. And I think that's actually what's being attached right now. Oh, nope. I lied. There is a stealth. There are two stealth black. Yeah, good thing I didn't pull on it too hard. There are two stealth black screws on here that they blend in, like they blend into all these holes. There's one here and then one there. Ooh. Jason wishes he was this graphics card. What a weirdo. Okay, now this is going to come off with no effort. All right. So here it is. Let me... Okay, what is this? Is this cooler even new? Jeez, what is this? All right. Oh, man. So, look at the cooler. Look at that copper plate. Bruh, did the guy or did the person at the factory like just drop it? How do you even get scratches like that? Let me clean this up. Let me clean this up and then we'll take a look closer at it. All right. Let me get this nice and clean and shiny so that we can see the quality. Talking about new here. Also, what is this repurposed design? So this is very interesting. I'm glad we opened this up. All right. So I have wiped every trace of thermal, not every trace. Let me get it on another fresh section here. Let's take a look at this thing. I mean, anything that's left on here afterwards is... Okay, so this is our new graphics card. Straight, I mean, I opened it right from the box, right from the anti-static bag. That's what we got going on for the copper plate on the heatsink. And also, one thing to notice, look at the heat pipe design versus the rest of the cooler. You see that missing? I think that was intentional because you can see there's also a missing hole here where the heat pipe would have routed out from here to this, which, I mean, it kind of goes to show that they're repurposing this, right? They're repurposing tooling, they're repurposing like heat sinks and stuff, and slapping, like you probably don't need that third heat pipe. This is probably gonna work just fine, but I mean, it just looks a little off, doesn't it? Mr. Guillotine brings up a good point. I don't have any problem with companies putting these together for older parts. I don't have problems either. Prevents e-waste, which, yes, I agree. Definitely want to keep stuff out of landfills because, you know, once graphics cards can go bad for a number of reasons. You don't want to just toss them out when you could, you know, repurpose them. But they need to be honest about it. I completely agree. So let me wipe this up. So here is the board, and we'll take a look closer on the microscope because right now, from what you see on this phone camera that I'm using, you probably can't see the details that much, but I'm going to clean up the die as much as I can, and then we will go in closer. Bakata says, China is my hero. And then we'll take a look at pricing after the fact. But yeah, so this is $100, which a lot of these RX 580s that you find on Amazon, that's how much they are. But that's how much they cost. But they always have like coupon or running deals and stuff to bring the price down a little more. So what I'm using is 91% isopropyl alcohol, which, you know, this stuff is way cheaper than 99, and I'm not going to be powering this thing on anytime soon, so there will be plenty of time for it to dry. I'm just trying to break down the thermal paste on here as much as I can and get it off. It's hard to get all the paste off because it starts flaking and breaking down, but let me see. Yeah, I don't know how much more I can get off of this. It's probably hard for you to see. Yeah, there's the reflection of it. It's a neutered version. Yes, exactly. Using a toothbrush is so smart. So yeah, dude, toothbrush is like one of the best ways of getting dust or thermal paste off of computer parts. And I know it might sound gross, but use toothbrushes because their bristles soften after they're used. I guess you could buy super soft ones, but I mean, I go through one of these every, is it 3 months or 6 months? Just whenever my toothbrush tells me to change it. But yeah, I have like literally so many of these from over the years. And what I do is I just clean them, boil them, and then they're good to use for computer parts. So even though they used to be used for cleaning my teeth. But yeah, Let me try to get the rest of this off before we go under the microscope. It is really hard to get every trace of thermal paste off of this. Shauner says, yeah, I bought a soft bristle brush for this reason. Yep. I mean, I probably have some brushes I bought too, but for some reason, because I have so many of the toothbrushes, I have them just laying around everywhere. So they're much easier to find and grab. Okay, I think I've cleaned this off as much as I can. I just want to get the die surface clean, but all right, if we take a look at it under a microscope, so we'll take a look at the block first, the heatsink. So let me see if this is gonna work. Let me see how this is gonna work. We gotta go to the bam USB micro. Okay, yep, okay. I need to get a stand. Here we go. This works. We're looking at it sideways now. Come on. I gotta find the right zoom. Sorry. Oh, man. So this is the surface of... Let me turn on the light more. Oh, here we go. Does this work better? So yeah, just to show you what the magnification level is, let me get the focus real quick. All right, those are like, there's the heat pipes. There you can see the texture in the metal. There's like screw holes right there, and those are the fins. So that's the magnification level we're at. I don't know what number it is, but like how many times of zoom. This is the surface of the copper plate in the middle of the heatsink. So, I mean, I would have thought that they would have at least put a brand new cooler on it. And I don't know the manufacturing processes of graphics cards, but I don't think, well, typically you don't see this in a lot of heatsink designs. Like, for anyone out there who has removed, to repaste their cards and stuff, how often do you see a dedicated like copper block on a GPU like heatsink rather than just being the same, material? I'm trying to think if I can recall any over the years. I think that I might have run into a couple of cards that have it like this, but this is not common. That is an old cooler, I think. I mean, let me see. Trying to figure out how this. Yeah, if we look at, I'll show over here too. We'll take a look over there. I mean, this is definitely. If this is new, then man, their machining process, or however the forging process of this, is definitely questionable. So, all right, this is the, oh, here. I wish this can do like an auto zoom, but there it is. So scratched up copper plate, not a good look, but hey, I haven't tested this thing yet. We're not gonna have time to test it on the stream, but I'll eventually put this into some kind of build on the channel. But let's take a look at the board now. All right, so there's the die. Let me zoom. Oh, you can see my VLC player music in the background. Okay, how do I get this light is already maxed out. Let me see if I can bring this light down more. Is that better? I don't know if that helps. Just because it's reflecting, it's whatever this is reflecting. Let me see if I can put something dark in the background here. And I mean, like I said, it's really hard to get all the thermal paste off of there. Some of this is thermal paste. There's my finger. My crusty, dry finger. But some, I mean, let me look around the rest of the board. Like the memory, I guess, looks newish. Capacitors, I mean, those all look brand new, which there's no reason why they shouldn't be. But this is, I mean, the die is kind of what we kind of think is used or old, right? But man, yeah, it is hard to see on here. Like, I'm trying to look for any scratches along the exterior here, which in the previous version that I opened up, I did see some scratches. But aside from the thermal paste I was not able to get off, I mean, are we inspecting dead components or something? No, this is, Aaron, this is actually a supposedly new graphics card. And it's from this company right here. And they say everything is new. They said there's no used components on this at all. So we're taking a look to see if we can find any clues as to whether or not that is a lie or not. But yeah, so I mean, for the most part, the board, I would say that the board and all the little components on it, like capacitors, even the memory modules on it, those pretty much look brand new. But it's really hard to say on the die. Let me see if I can tilt it to get a better reflection. There you go. Oh, tilting it in the light. So all those, you see all those, what looks like those dots? Those are not water droplets. Those are not dry spots. I don't know what those are. They're actually like little dimples on the die. Let me try to wipe it again. Let me try to wipe it again just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure that is in there. Like, that is texture on the die. But we'll go again. How often would you repaste the CPU, GPU? CPU, like, honestly, if there's no temperature problems, I've gone, like, 4 or 5 years without repasting CPU, without the need to repaste CPU. Graphics card, I could even say the same thing too. But I don't, here, let's put it like this. I don't think repasting is necessary unless there are temperature issues or if you are just trying to get lower temps. Like in the video that I picked up the GTX 960 from Joe online, it was running in like the mid 70s, which isn't bad or damaging to the card, but I just had a feeling in my mind, I was like, this is not that crazy of a power hungry card. This seems like it's running a bit warmer, and I was able to shave 6 degrees off of it, right? So if you want a temperature improvement and you feel like you could get that from repasting, feel free. But other than that, like I have a feeling most people don't really care. So you can just go without repasting so long as you're not, you know, you're running below like 80 degrees under full load. Some cards, even with fresh paste, are going to run hotter than 80 degrees. Just, you know, it's the nature of higher power cards, or maybe they have like a crappier cooler on them. But I don't really set a time frame for having to repaste it. For the video, like I could have just not repasted that GTX 960 at all, but just for the content, I did it, and it did make it run cooler, but all right, I'm wiping this as best I can. And we're gonna take a look at that texture again. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of fiber. I can blow it off later. But in terms of the die itself, you see those little dots are still there? All these little dots right there. Also, there's no way I did anything. Oh no, that's just thermal paste on the corner. That's not a crack or a chip. Yeah, that's just thermal paste that didn't come off. But I mean, this doesn't look new to me, which, like we mentioned earlier, that's not a problem. I don't know how they would advertise it though, right? How should they advertise these cards? Like in the marketing material, especially since most of these, I mean, let's be honest, most of these companies are, the factories producing these, they're based in China or somewhere in Asia. Maybe to them, the way that they would say reused, maybe it doesn't sound good from like a marketing standpoint for like an Amazon listing, but this is essentially a refurbished card, but everything, well, I guess you can't even say the cooler. Let's just speak in general, not specifically this, but for the most part, like from the other one that I tore down before, it seems like the only thing reused is the GPU die. The cooler should be brand new. I actually find it kind of funny that this is in as bad of condition as it is, because they're still it's like they're not making 580 chips anymore, right? So you can't just get new ones, but you can get new heat sinks. You can get new fans. The fans on this, to be fair, seem new, but the heat sink portion of it and the copper plate, you should be able to get those new still. And then same with like memory and capacitors and stuff like that, and the PCB. Those all you can still get new. So this should be, yeah, this is really a refurbished product. But how often do GPU chips, the chip itself, how often do these die? I was trying to look for data on that. I couldn't find any. Like, what is the average lifespan of this versus capacitors versus, like, memory versus just a general PCB? And I couldn't find it. The cooler looks worse than my old-ass 1050 Ti low profile. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, there's no performance numbers on this yet because I literally have not used this yet, but eventually this will make its way into a video. I don't know whenever I have a budget video lined up. Maybe, we'll see. They can't say used because then everybody would want to pay $40 for it. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't think there's a way to make a listing that really explains what they've done, and to explain that essentially this could have the same lifespan of a brand new card. Because again, aside from like, what was it? Was it the 7800 or the 7900 XT or XTXs? Which one is it? Which one of the AMD cards are the ones where the dies were actually cracking? Assuming there's no temperature issues, and I think those ones were cracking because they had issues with the contact with the heat sink, right? Assuming that's not an issue here and the temperatures are kept tame, like, is there any reason for this to not last, as long as a brand new RX 580 would have when those first came out in what, 2018 or 17 or whenever that was. This is a good point. Kavozine's Fang. The percentage of new versus, this is more, actually no. In terms of, I don't know what the cost breakdown is, right? Let's just say the primary performer, like where all the magic happens right here. I mean, you could say, yeah, for everything else too, but like this is like the brain, the core right here, right? This is what drives the performance of the entire graphics card. Everything else is like supporting it. In terms of cost of materials, I don't know if it's safe to say this makes up 50% of the total cost to make or whatever. But if you do it just by part count, yeah, this should be new. I don't know what the story is here, but I think from a lot of these RX 580 248 SPs, I would think that they actually use new components here. Everything else is new. Yeah, so by part count, this is like, you could call it a 80% new card. It looks okay, not amazing, just okay, yeah. And then now let's go to see, well, let's just take a look. So this one on Amazon is $90 after the coupon. And I mean, Aorus did that too. A lot of these companies that put these cards out, I don't know why. Maybe once this, because it doesn't have many ratings, I wonder if they're just going to take it out and make it a flat 100 after. We have 2 customers that bought this, verified purchase. Awesome, okay. So there are customers for this card. Looks amazing and sounds amazing. Wait. Let me read this comment. I've been doing researching for a good graphics card, and this one comes out of nowhere, making an instant 5-star review. Plus, it seems due to the description specs that it is better than most 580s, but it's cheaper and cooler looking. What is this person talking about? This is not better than most 580s. This is a 570 in disguise. So, what is this person saying in this review? How did they say that this is better than actual 580s? All right, give me a second. Let me get my desk set right. We did this with Siemens products. We still had to call them refurbished by law in the EU. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me. That would be the more accurate description. How about refurbished like new? Awesome, amazing budget GPU for 1080p gaming. I got it for my son's birthday gift. This 580 8GB looks great with RGB light, even has multicolor breathing mode, performs for 60 FPS. Yeah, this is what you're expecting. 60 FPS. Whoa, no. In AAA games, is Valorant considered AAA? I don't know about that. Witcher 3 was AAA back when it came out. Nowadays, it's more considered like an older title that should be able to run easily on a 580. Diablo 4, I would call a AAA game. It is demanding. It is new. It came out, within the last year. But CS:GO and Valorant, they're getting more than 60 FPS in both of these. These games you can run on integrated graphics and get above 60 FPS. But their son is pleased with it, and it also comes with fantastic packing, good graphics card. Let's take a look at this video. Oops. Is that a... let me see this. That is actual addressable RGB, it looks like. It's not fixed lighting. I'm curious if you can change it or if it's just pre-programmed to constantly cycle. So if you want like a unicorn, rainbow unicorn puke build, this works. But if I had to guess, they probably don't have like specific software to control this. You might have some luck with OpenRGB or something, but if I had to bet, I would bet that you can't change the color scheme to like a fixed single color or anything like that. Pinky Tech, if Valorant is AAA, I'm 6'5". I know, right? Yeah, definitely they're esports games. Definitely not AAA. Though AAA, I've never really sat down and thought about it. Like, how do you define AAA? For me, I think it's from a large studio, which you could call Valorant. You know, Riot is their... maybe Riot's considered a medium studio. But there are companies that release esports games. Like Blizzard, they made Heroes of the Storm, which is definitely an esports game, but they are a AAA company. So not all games that come from AAA companies are considered AAA. But what is your definition? Just like state-of-the-art graphics and requires a modern, you know, mid to upper range PC to run? Demanding. Just that it's demanding? I'm trying to think if there's any indie studios that make demanding games. Even so, indie studios making AAA games. We're going to actually look this up. Also, let me adjust the light here. Oh, there's a Wikipedia article, which funny, I was just reading the thing about Elon Musk versus Wikipedia. He's having a temper tantrum about it, but AAA, wow, there's an actual article. EA, Left, and Ubisoft, right, are examples of AAA companies. In the video game industry, AAA is an informal, okay, that makes sense because we're having trouble defining it right now, informal classification used to classify video games produced and distributed by mid or major publishers, which typically have higher development and marketing budgets, okay? But that doesn't mean anything with how demanding it is. AAA Plus used to describe games, okay? So this is talking about the development costs, which I guess it's kind of related, right? The more you spend on it. I'm trying to think of, is there any company that spent a ton on a game that was like horrible graphics and just like looked like crap? I don't think so. Blockbuster games, 7th generation games, okay. The more dev, the worse it runs. Yo, Valheim is a great example of indie company making awesome game. AAA, AA, triple. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. So most of this is talking about budget, not about demanding. Spectrum, specific meaning. Yeah, I can't find anything about like high specs, demanding, or anything like that. Bigger budget games. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any example of a big budget game that is not demanding, and I can't off the top of my head. There are plenty of AAA games that have failed. The most recent one that I can think of, it's not even that recent anymore, Anthem. Y'all remember Anthem? I actually enjoyed playing Anthem for the time that I did play it. Like, I kind of wish that they, I don't know, they brought it back. I mean, what other game lets you play like Iron Man? Yeah, Anthem was, I thought Anthem, the gameplay itself wasn't the issue. I think it was the gameplay loop, which is similar. It's like a looter shooter, right? Similar to Destiny and games like that, where you're just constantly doing the same things over and over to get slightly incremental upgrades. But I don't know, just flying around, just the aerial part of Anthem I thought was really cool. Call of Duty is AAA but can be run on potato. Yeah, Call of Duty can be run on potato PCs, but you're definitely lowering the settings. That they have like built-in basic setting graphics presets and stuff like that. So, when have you seen a big budget game that is easy to run? I have not. I can't think of one. So yeah, big budget means higher graphics quality and more demanding. Why many people still like this new RX 580 2040 SP. It's literally, yeah, it is literally a 578 gigabyte. Get something better like a, well, so the thing about these cards, especially the people who don't know, like think of the average Amazon customer, especially ones that maybe are not, that don't watch PC content on YouTube, or that don't read, I don't know, Tom's Heart. I don't know if Tom's or any of the other like tech media outlets written. I'm not sure if any of them have covered these 248 SP cards, but the average person is probably like these two comments right here, saying it's an amazing, great card. This person thought it was better than an actual 580. So there's a market for people who just need a graphics card for relatively cheap, because again, this, you could get a 570 or even a real 580 for this much or less. I recently got one for 20 bucks, which was a crazy good deal, but you can usually find them for around 50 bucks. But that requires buying in the used market, and there's still a ton of people who aren't comfortable with that. They aren't comfortable with it being used, and they aren't comfortable with buying from some stranger versus buying on Amazon, where they feel like they have the backing of the company, which this, what warranty does this card have? I don't even know if warranty is going to be on here. Warranty and support for this, okay, click here. Please contact the seller directly. Okay, so in terms of warranty, it's not directly listed on here, but let me see in the email. I think the company has 15-day return and 3-month replacement, 1-year technical support. Any warranty service for non-quality problems is not supported, whatever that means. But I mean, if you're buying from Amazon, it's pretty much a 30-day window. Beyond that, I mean, this company, RDiz, I don't think they even have a website. So if you type in RDS graphics card, yeah, there's nothing. They are, I mean, they are a legitimate company. They are a legitimate company. You can find stuff about them. Application file. Geez, are they a super new company? Trademark registration is intended to cover the categories computer central processing units. Okay, so if you look at this, the date, transaction day, 8/10, date first used of the commerce, application filed. Yeah, so this company is one of the many that seems to be popping up to refurbish these graphics cards and to sell on Amazon. Because you look at the date that they were application filed. This is for the company, it looks like. Trademark application details. There, yeah, it looks like for them trademarking their name. So, yeah. There's that. With regards to the warranty, I would not trust this company's warranty. I would just assume you have your Amazon 30-day return window, and you either figure out if the card's a dud or not, and that's all you have to go by. Yes, yeah, it was. The 2048 SP was released, initially released in China. I don't even know I don't know when they started popping up in the US market. But I remember the first video that I could find on YouTube of it was closer to maybe within a year of when the 580 released. And I think Gamers Nexus, they did a video on it, covering it. And yeah, the findings was it was basically RX 570, and it was only exclusive to China. If you scroll down to where they show Minecraft, they show RTX on and off. Are you talking about, where is it? Scroll down to where? Where's the mind? Oh, you mean this right here? Oh, yeah. I see it. Right here. This is what you're talking about. Ray tracing. More realistic, more efficient. Ray tracing is the holy grail of gaming. Whoa, what? Ray tracing is the holy grail of gaming graphics. Dude, screw ray tracing. No, I'm just kidding. Though I kind of lean more towards that. Actually, here, we got to run a different poll. Yo, more. Okay. As I kept the Hyte Y60, Y70 poll out for longer, it seems like the tides have turned. Now, almost 40% of the people like it. It almost switched. It was 38-32 the other way around. But more than 50% of the people are either indifferent or think that the Hyte PCs are overrated. But ray tracing. Always got to run these polls every once in a while about ray tracing performance in quotes. Either yes or no. Yeah, I don't like for the games that I play that even have ray tracing, I do not enable it like ever. There's no ray tracing. Yeah. There's no ray tracing cores on this thing. But what are they talking about here? Which can simulate characteristics of light, which is true. Yes, in the real world, fully unleashed power advantage of ray tracing. Yeah, what is this? Like, it's just straight up. So, by looking at this, I haven't played Minecraft ray tracing, right? Does the shader mods and stuff, does that look that different than the actual ray tracing? For people who do play Minecraft? Like, the Minecraft knowledge is basically zero. Johnny C 2.0 says, I order a 3070 on eBay and no one will help me. What do you mean? Victor Cat. I love spreading misinformation on the internet. Yeah, bro. Anything else from this marketing material? Brilliant lighting effect overflowing with brilliance. Heck yeah. Is that all they have? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the other one. So you have your legit XFX 580, but then you got another Serralo RX 580 8GB 2040 SP. This one's $95. So they're all within the same range of each other. Here's a Zerlon. Same thing here. This one's $105. What is the cheapest one that we can find in the States on Amazon? I know Aliexpress is cheaper. 2048 SP. What is the lowest price one we can find? Does anyone else get kind of sketched out when they don't see a Prime? Anytime I see this, I don't click on it just because I'm so used to seeing the Prime. When I see this, what I think of is like straight up coming from China or some third-party seller, not protected by Amazon returns. Let me look at this. So what do we have here? This is by TGD Gamer. So it's the same card. This is the cheapest one though on Amazon, $80. Wow, free delivery Monday, December 4th. So yeah, this is what happens when you buy stuff sometimes and there's no Amazon Prime indicator. You're looking at fastest delivery Wednesday, November 29th. So a month and 4 days, or free delivery. I'm guessing this fastest delivery isn't free. The free delivery is Monday, December 4th. Who's trying to save that much money to wait a month to get a card? What's the next cheapest one? $90. Here we go. Let's take a look at this one. This one has the Prime thing. So this one you could get Thursday, November 2nd, which is next week. Or Friday. Dude, where's the 2-day Prime shipping, man? So you can get Wednesday or Friday. You can get this one Tuesday. You can get this by next Tuesday, the Serralo one. Yeah, so this is $99, or I guess 90 with the coupon. It's pretty expensive for what it is if you consider the used market. Hey, what's up, Demon Mitt? AliExpress trying to open an Amazon storefront. Now let's take a look on Amazon. Oh, no, I mean AliExpress. So if we look at AliExpress, I haven't looked at these prices for a while, but I'm thinking we can find them for... I don't think they're as low as 60, but we'll see. I'm thinking 70 bucks. RX 580 2048 SP. Oh, I'm wrong. They are... Okay, that's not right. What are these $19 listings? What is this? Oh, this is a GT210? Yeah, okay, that's why. What? Wait, what? I hate... Okay, yeah, it's because I have to choose... what is this? RX 580... Huh. Interesting. One second, let me see the difference between these two. So this one's 66 bucks. Oh, this is just normal DDR5 memory, not GDDR, which I'm actually curious about the performance difference between these two now. But this one's cheaper because it has crappier memory used. And then what else? Where's that spec sheet? Ah, AliExpress, why you do this to me? Oh, this is, okay, let me see. What else is different? Okay, so core frequencies. Yeah, this one. Wait. Something looks off between these two. Hey, what's up, fool? Hopefully I'm saying that right. AliExpress, you killing me with the way that you're listing these cards here. Is this one an actual? So this is, you can get them for 43 bucks. Shipping is 24. So we're looking at 60 something. Free shipping. Let's just look at free shipping. There's none? How's that none? Free shipping. Here we go. This is straight up a used card, right? Is this new? Used. Okay, so you can get a used one for 67 bucks, which is not that great. But this is a full RX 580. Where's... Can I sort by new versus used? Graphics cards. There's no new or used selector on the left. Free shipping. I'm trying to look for the cheapest SP card. Yeah, I don't know if those specs are right. It would be... I would have to look more into it. I wonder, either it's a typo or... Yeah, I don't really believe that they would put non-GDDR3 RAM in, or memory into it. What is this one? 60 bucks, free shipping. You would get November, so like 3 weeks away. Let's look at the spec sheet. This is a 2048 card. So yeah, so they are looking like $60-ish over on AliExpress. But then you don't get the protection of Amazon. I don't know if you would need the protection, but some people aren't even aware of what AliExpress is. So that's how they can make some more money, by getting those customers that aren't comfortable with the used market and that aren't aware you can get them for cheaper by going to AliExpress and buying straight from China. What is Johnny C 2.0 trying to talk about here? Johnny C 2.0. I never had a GPU on MSI Afterburner not go past that red boost arrow. My 3070, it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, you're the person that tweeted. Okay. This is what you need to do. You need to go and download either Unigine Superposition. Unigine Superposition, it's free. Download this, or 3D Mark. This is also free on Steam, the trial edition or whatever. You can get 3D Mark for free on Steam. And just run a basic Firestrike and Superposition benchmark and compare the results. I think you're focusing too much on the core clocks, which, based on this, what you sent before, the clock speeds looked fine. Who cares about the arrows on MSI Afterburner? If your RTX 3070 performs on par with other 3070s, because once you look at the benchmark results, you can filter by the results and look online to see what other people get, then the card's fine. I don't know what else you want me to say, Johnny. Also, please don't use all caps. Thanks for catching that, Kevin. Danny, I bought a Corsair H100i RGB Elite cooler. Is it good? Because with my tower cooler, it can't handle... what's a 100... Is that a 240? You're trying to use a 240 cooler with an i9 11900K? Or is that 280? Yeah, you're using a 240 millimeter cooler. For Corsair carries kind of a premium. You probably could have gotten a 280 thick cooler for the same price, or especially since you got the RGB cooler too. That must have been like in the upwards of 160, 170, 180 bucks, right? I'm guessing. Actually, I could just look it up right now. RGB Elite. H100 RGB Elite. Okay, so it's 140. If this is your cooler, I can see why it's having problems trying to keep it cool. If you're doing all-core workloads, is it overheating just for when gaming too? If you're running like Cinebench or Prime 95 or something crazy that's meant to run it at 100% all-core max load, yeah, I can see why it's overheating. But like when you're just doing other, or I guess if you're doing any like compiling or rendering on it too, for gaming, I could see it being fine, but for anything else that's like heavy core workloads, then yeah, I can see why it's running warm or hot. Oh, you're saying, is it good? You're saying your tower cooler can't handle it. To be honest, if you're replacing a tower cooler for an i9, I would have gotten, if you could have fit it, either 360 or 280. Yeah, these 240s, they're not the best at cooling. Hey, what's up, Darnell? How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Oof, it already shipped. Where'd you buy it from? If it was from Newegg, then yeah, Newegg. Actually, what is Newegg's return? I've not had to return anything to Newegg in so long, but I return stuff to Amazon all the time. Is there a restocking fee on Newegg? like if it's brand new in box. Any product sold and shipped by Newegg labeled with the 30-day hassle-free return badge is eligible for free returns, no restocking fee, and free return shipping. Okay, wait, where'd you buy this thing from? If you bought it from Amazon or Newegg, I personally would return it and grab a 360, a 280, 360, or 420 AIO. What was his cooler? Did I miss where he said what the cooler was? For Zao. No, I just bought, I'm using a Scythe Fuma 2 right now. What is your definition of you can't handle it, I guess? Now we gotta get into more of the details of the numbers. What are you doing? What temperatures are you getting? How are you monitoring it? And is it thermal throttling? Okay, well, I'm looking for something which will use the card. Wait, what? No, it's the wrong person. I'm playing Forza and I use hardware monitor and to check thermal throttle with Intel Extreme. I think hardware monitor also tells you if you're thermal throttling. Hardware info I know does. Hardware monitor should too. And you're actually thermal throttling while gaming? That's surprising to me. What's going on with the 5900X chat Fool is trying to do? Yeah, I agree, dude. There was like 4 conversations going on at the same time. So Fool, it sounds like I'm just going based off of this, right? Oh, the chat. That's why this window looks so weird. Okay. I accidentally deleted all my OBS profiles, and like an idiot, I did not have them backed up. So I had to remake all my scenes in OBS, like literally today. Because there's no undo button when you delete stuff. And I deleted all of it trying to make different stream profiles and OBS profiles. Anyways, that's why the live chat's now going on right here. I need to get that again. That's what's been missing this stream. It looks so, I thought it looked off and I was wondering where it was. At least we have the chat highlights. But it looks like there's a conversation about buying, Fool's trying to upgrade to a 5900X when you already have a 5800X. Yeah, why are you trying to do that? First of all, what graphics card do you have? Second, what do you even use your computer for? If you're mostly gaming, just stick with the 5800X. Even if you're not mostly gaming, how much are you trying to spend on a 5900X? Like, that is such a small incremental upgrades, and how much are 5900X is going for right now? I don't know if you're getting it used or new, but if we look at 5900X prices, so they're around what, 350? Is that looking about right for the price? 350, 345, 350, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that is worth it. It's better to save for when you do like the full platform upgrade. The 5800X is a plenty capable processor. Yeah, you're gaming. Wants to buy a 4070, thinks, no, you don't need. Bottleneck Calculator? Yo. Dude, we haven't looked at Bottleneck Calculator in a long time, but let's take a look. Is this the Bottleneck Calculator we're talking about, or is there a more well-known Bottleneck Calculator? So we're looking at 5800X, and we're picking a 4070, it looks like. Wants to buy a 4070. Proceed to calculation. Okay, you're getting a 4070, you shouldn't be playing at 1080p. Actually, we'll calculate both. Let's go to 1080p. There you are. So proceed to calculation. What is this saying? A 29.4, first of all. So, let me see if they actually explain what this means, because I'll tell you what I read this as. This is basically saying, if you got a graphics card, or if you got a CPU that forced a bottleneck onto the graphics card, you will gain, like, essentially 29.4 or 30% performance. So that's saying, let's say you get 100 FPS with the 5800X. They're saying if you upgrade to, whether it be the 5900X or just something that completely removes all bottleneck, you're going to essentially have like 130 FPS instead. You hate this site? Yeah. Okay, let's see what they say about 1440p. I'm curious. Because at 1440p, that number should be smaller. They're saying 22.2. Really? That's all the differences between the two? Let's see at 4K. Bottleneck calculator. There's no way they're going to still say the CPU is going to be bottlenecking. They can't, right? Where's 4K at? There it is. I love how there's no like middle ground for this website too. This is essentially not a bottleneck. You will always have a bottleneck. We've said this many a times before. You will always have a bottleneck on either. There's always going to be one component that's weaker depending on the title or the task that you're doing. 5%, and they're just straight up saying is too weak, as opposed to saying this is actually a good pairing for the two. This is already red flags to me. But if you don't want to trust this, let me see. Hardware Unboxed is probably going to be a good 5900X. In their 5900X benchmark, they should have the 5800X, and we can see. Let's see. Do they show their test bench system? What do we got here? So this looks like. What are they doing? Okay, where's the gaming benchmarks? Gaming benchmarks. 11 game average. That's 1080p. Oh yeah, so they're going to do gaming 1080p benchmarks, even though most people aren't going to be playing at 1080p with the 4070. So if we look at, did they not have 5800X? Oh, what was the release date of these two processors relative to each other? Did AMD do the thing where they released the high-end? Okay, we might have to look at 5800X benchmarks. Because I'm not sure if this person needs more of a convincing to not buy the 5900X. All right, let's take a look at these numbers here. This is at 1080p, which is kind of the worst case scenario. Maybe 720p would give more of a difference in results. Look at these numbers. 5900X versus 5800X. You're talking about 214 versus 211 on average frame rate, and then 172 versus 168. This, let's see, 3 FPS over 200. This is like less than 2% of a performance difference. And again, at 1440p, this becomes a wash. 172 versus 168, that's 4 over 160. What percentage is that? That's 1 over 60. I'm bad at math. I don't know. It's like a little bit. That's still under 2%. And that, yeah, that is within actually, is it margin of error? I don't know what Hardware Unboxed's test methodology is, but if they're doing it on an average of like 5, it's pretty much close enough to be margin of error. But it's not like they only ran one test. Like, I don't know how many times they run the test, but if you do consistently get 211, 211, 212, 211 versus like 214, 213, 215, 214, then, I mean, I don't really consider that margin of error. I do consider it basically negligible, though. Negligible and margin of error is not the same thing. But yeah, this is basically saying don't get a 5900X. But they do have other application benchmarks, like in Cinebench, where this is single core. Yeah, so single core, barely a difference. Cinebench multi-core, we're looking at 6,000 almost versus 8,500, which is 6,000. What is that, like 20 something percent? 25 would be no, that's like 30 something percent, I think. Yes, it is not worth spending $350 on to get a 5900X. Hopefully we have convinced you of that. If you're only getting 83% utilization on your GPU, then your CPU bottleneck, but so what? That is true. I kind of hate the discussion of bottlenecking because that term is thrown around so much without, like, actually realizing what's going on. Anytime that one core component is running at 100% and the other one is not, that's technically a bottleneck. But who cares if you're getting good frame rates, right? If you're playing and the gameplay is smooth and you're getting like high frame rates, even if it's a big difference, like 170 versus 200 FPS, who cares? Is it worth $350 to get that extra 30 FPS when it's beyond the range of the refresh rate of your monitor anyways? I don't think it's worth it. I think you save that money for your next graphics card update, or you're trying to get a 4070. If you put $350 towards the graphics card, that pushes you almost into 4080 territory. And that will give you way better performance like increase than a 5900X will. Demon Mitt is using a 5950X and a 3090 here. I think your 3090 is around 50% usage while playing GTA 5 RP at 4K, lol. What FPS are you actually getting? And yeah, no, GTA definitely is a game that anytime I've ever benchmarked it, you have a good CPU, but some of that's up to optimization too. But a lot of times GTA does have that effect where GPU utilization is below CPU, which is fine if you're getting, you're playing RP at 4K, 85 to 110, okay. Yeah, the game just can't utilize it. It is, GTA on PC is 2016, so it's 7 years old now, yeah. Hey, what's up, Braythorn in the house? I think I missed Braythorn earlier. Dude, when did you show up, Braythorn? I've been looking at the charts and stuff, so... there you go. Let's see. I think this was your first message, and I apologize for missing that. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Yeah, we first took apart this RX 580, as you probably saw in the thumbnail. This RX 580, quote unquote, and then now we're just doing whatever the chat tells us to do, which people were asking random questions for PC hardware, so we're just going through that. But looking at the time, I do have a hard cutoff at 7 p.m. today because I will be playing Hitman with Kevin and Casey. So I do have a hard cutoff. But we have about 10 minutes left of this stream to just chill and talk about whatever people want to talk about. Not Hitman. Yes, Payday 3. I was thinking about Hitman because me and Jason were talking about Hitman just last night. Yes, Payday 3. Shauner says, that's the thing a lot of people don't get is how differently one game can run from one another. Yeah, you could say, oh, my GPU or my CPU is bottlenecked in one game, and I could give you a different game where if you ran it, it would be the opposite around. Then what do? What you need to do is like pick based on, partially on what games you're playing. You can look up specific benchmarks for that, and there should be almost every hardware combination on the internet. If you type in like some CPU plus one GPU, you could find that combination for a lot of games tested or close enough. Like if it's not the exact same card or CPU, it's like one tier up or down from it or a half tier. So yeah. $14.9. You know what? I've never played City Skylines. I've never been interested in it. With the 14900K, 4090, 64 gigabytes, DDR5, still runs only at 20 FPS. People definitely forget games are commonly the bottleneck. Yeah, game optimization, developers, that is also an issue. Though City Skylines, if I remember correctly, I don't watch a ton of benchmarks on it, but just in passing, City Skylines is typically more CPU dependent, right? I think it's not really like crazy graphics wise. It's just a bunch of random crap going on at the same time. So it's more CPU dependent, if I remember right. And RAM. RAM if you're modding and loves 3D V-Cache. Was there a new City Skylines release recently? Aside from the chat tonight, I think I remember seeing it either on Reddit or Twitter or something recently, but have they made a new one recently? City Skylines 2? Oh yeah, it just came out yesterday. That's why. So I'm not going crazy. City Skylines 2, October 24th, 2023, just came out yesterday, and it has mixed reviews already. What is wrong with this game? Is it performance issues? Sadly, this review is negative. Performance is unacceptable. Ah, yes, a very common story for many games releasing in 2023. This is a paradox game, meaning you buy new will only spoil the experience you'll have when they actually finish developing. Yep, a lot of performance-based complaints. 3060 Ti running at 94% with the Bear City. Okay, what else we got? Horrible performance. Yeah, I waited a whole year for this. Game was released half-baked. A game in the 2020s was released before it was ready? That's so crazy. Now that you mention it, I'm trying to think what game that came out this year. I think Baldur's Gate 3, right? That's like the only game off the top of my head I can think of, which I don't play Baldur's Gate, but all my friends are playing it. Baldur's Gate is the only game that I think just like across the board received positive praise. Not only just like performance wise, I actually haven't heard. I think it's the thing where like if there's no performance issues, people don't talk about it. So I don't know of any performance issues with Baldur's Gate, but in terms of like gameplay and story, people like it a lot. Baldur's Gate is so good. Yeah, I mean that's the general consensus. I just have not ever been a turn-based person. Like, the turn-based and the kind of, I don't know. Open world games spoiled me. They ruined me. They have ruined me. And I have watched quite a bit of Baldur's Gate stuff. I watched it in person, actually, when all my friends were playing it at LAN during free play hour, or free play time. It's just something about it. I'm not interested in it. But I mean, you know, not every game is made for everybody. The only real turn-based game I've played is Wizard 101. Why does that sound familiar? Wizard 101. That's like the MMO. Okay, yeah. I think we've talked about this before. It's like a MMO from like friggin' pre-2010. And that was a turn-based MMO? Interesting. Interesting. How does turn-based and MMO go together? Been a hot minute since I looked at that, says Demon Mitt. Yeah. I've never played Wizard 101. Yeah, so Pokemon, the last Pokemon I really played was X and Y. I got that one, but before that was like Gold and Silver. Something about turn-based gameplay to me is just not appealing anymore. I played so much turn-based combat RPGs growing up. I mean, I'm talking like Final Fantasy, so all the Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger. Secret of Mana was not, but yeah, I played so many of those games, and I just can't. After moving away from turn-based games, it's just hard to go back. Crew it up. Why a RX 580? Just because it's what landed on my desk, and company claimed it was new, and I had a feeling it was not all new. Is Wizard one? A lot of the times, MMOs eventually can't support like the subscription model because no one's gonna play it. That they go free to play. Is Wizard 101 not free to play? I would have thought it was. There's not many games that can hold a subscription. Wizard 101 is free. Oh, it was a turn-based card game based combat system. Interesting. All this talk of Wizard 101 is making me want to look it up now. I gotta look it up. The first level is free to play, but there's like 10 or 15 worlds that are locked behind a membership. Okay. Dude, there are so many good free MMOs out that you could play, or at least buy to play, no subscription, that... I mean, looking at Wizard 101, it seems like a nostalgia thing. Like, if you played it a long time ago, it makes sense to pay the membership or whatever. But if you haven't and you're trying to get into a new MMO, there's no way someone would get into this and pay a subscription. When you have games like Guild Wars 2, which is buy it once, play forever, except for the expansions. But there's so many other, like Albion, RuneScape, so many other games. RuneScape has been getting destroyed lately? What do you mean by that? You know, I only ever played old school RuneScape back in like 2006 or 7 for a little bit. But I never actually played it to like a high level. I just like played for like a few weeks and that's about it. And then I quit. But yeah. You still play it occasionally? Nice. WoW did it the best. WoW... I'm biased. I am biased. The thing about WoW is that people aren't trying to pay $15 a month. But I do truly feel there's a reason why WoW held the throne. And it still kind of, I think it still holds the throne. Like, in terms of active subscribed players across all of it. Maybe not retail alone, but with Classic and everything. They probably have the largest, I would think, subscriber base. And the next closest thing is Final Fantasy 14. But what other subscription-based MMOs are there out there that still exist today? $3 million deaths in hardcore. Hopefully I'm not one of those deaths. But yeah. And then people just can't get enough of it. FF11 was my addiction. Back when FF11 was more relevant, but because that was before WoW came out by like what, 3 years? Wasn't FF11 2001? It was, I did not have a good enough computer. I did not have a good enough internet connection, and I did not have the money to pay monthly subscription. But given that I played so much Final Fantasy 11 on console, or Final Fantasy games on console growing up, Final Fantasy as an MMO was like, it would have been the dream. But WoW beat me to it, so. Have I played any Souls type games? Just Elden Ring is the closest thing, but barely. Elden Ring is open world, so I do like that part of it. But I don't know. Something about the combat system of constantly rolling around and trying to hit the boss a bunch of times and only being able to get hit a couple of times. Maybe you could say skill issue. Probably is a skill issue, but that's just not appealing to me. KL130 says, ironically, when I got computers that could handle WoW and FF, I moved on. Raythorn, I haven't played WoW in so freaking long. The only reason I've considered recently is Roby wanted me to join him a little while back. And was that for retail or for classic, like Wrath or classic era or hardcore? I do need to leave. Casey and Kevin are waiting on me. All right. It is 7 on the dot. We gotta go. Wait. Before we go, because you guys can catch me. Why did I just put Casey? Alastro, Twitch. Is Casey live right now? Casey is live. We are about to play some Payday 3. So if you want to just come and watch us play that, and we could talk more. Though when we go over to Casey's stream, it is more about Casey. I'm not the main character over there. So don't go over there asking me questions. Go over there and ask Casey questions. But we're about to play some Payday 3. He's going to be streaming. I'm going to cut the stream off now. So I want to say thank you to everyone for another successful stream. That was really fun. I'll try to get more, hands-on DIY stuff on the streams so that it's a good mix of that and browser-based stuff. But hopefully everyone has a good rest of the week. Oh, we can hear Casey. Yeah, but everyone have a great rest of your evening, have a great rest of your week, and a great weekend coming up. And yeah, I will see you hopefully on next week's stream, as well as in the next video, which I am still working on. It is my own personal PC, side grade. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. So have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.